All right, this is the Village of Peotone Committee of the Whole meeting for September 23, 2013. We begin by calling the meeting to order and taking attendance.
Mr. Reichert.
Here.
Mr. Hupkey. Mr. Wicker. Mr. Hack.
Here.
Mr. Callahan. Mr. Forsythe.
Here. Okay, let the record show that we do have a quorum present. 3 of the 6 trustees constitutes a quorum with the mayor. That being said, I will go for the approval or corrections of the minutes of the last Committee of the Whole meeting, which is August 26th of 2013. Entertain a motion to approve them as presented, or correct them if you see a need.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by trustee Forsythe, second by trustee Hack, to approve the minutes as presented. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Forsythe.
Yes.
Mr. Hack.
Yes.
Mr. Reichert.
Yes.
President Durant.
Yes. Minutes are therefore approved as presented. This is the monthly meeting where we invite the members of the public who would like to ask questions of the village or offer insights to come forward and speak with us. I will note for the record that we started even a little bit late and there is nobody from the public present. So I will ask the trustees if there's any topics they would like to discuss.
Notice they started on the streets. That's kind of cool. Started grinding today, it looked like.
They anticipate grinding 2 days, weather permitting, paving 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a great week
Oh,
weather-wise.
perfect
so, right.
weather for it, I think. And you go ahead.
Not this year, the end of this year, but maybe next year if we can look into the, I know we look into this every year, we get told no, but just for the heck of it, sidewalk proposal or quote-unquote bike path along Wilmington Road to McDonald's, that side. Or any side, whatever.
That has been something that in-house we've been discussing as a possibility for next year. Looking at that as being a major project.
I know you got some concerns from some of the residents there too, and I had some issues with it. It doesn't hurt to ask, keep on asking.
Shall do that.
We'd also add to what you've said, you might notice that some of the new street signs have started going up around town. We have one out at the corner now, at Main Street and 3rd here.
Very nice looking.
Yeah. And Tom has, I think he's going to see in areas where it makes sense to combine the stop sign and that.
Okay.
It does out here because of just the way the corner's set up, and I think in some other places.
Like just like a higher pole or the stop?
No, it's the same pole. You just put the stop sign on it as well as the,
Okay.
the 2 street
Correct.
signs. And he's put the street signs, one facing one direction and then the other one underneath it. So as you approach, and we're trying to get them so that they're easiest to see the street you want to turn on as you come up to it, which sometimes puts the sign on the opposite side
Right.
of the pole from what we've done in the past. But hey, if it's easier for people coming to town to find a street by doing it that way and it doesn't cause any grief, we'll do it. But it's a case-by-case basis. He also went through, I think, the original signs that we put up at the old mill subdivision last year and adjusted those to the same thing. So we're up at the top of the pole and just underneath it for the other one. Looks a lot nicer.
I always thought the ones with the concrete pillars with the street name going down it. You've ever seen those? Were always interesting, but after like 3 years, you could never read them because the letters would fade away in the cement. Those were always kind of cool. I think we had some in town too, didn't we?
They have the old part of town.
Yeah.
I don't think those would be allowed under
Probably not.
TCD
No.
standards, though, will they?
Don't think so.
No, they're very limited on, this is what it must be.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can never read them after, as I said, after 3 or 4 years, you couldn't
Yeah.
read them anymore anyways. They just look neat, old, or whatever way you want to look at it.
Dig it up and give it to the historical society.
There you go.
Yeah, we,
You just have to worry about people stealing them. Permanent.
yeah, the novel signs. Yeah.
Right.
I think the combination of the colors that we've got make them easy to stand out no matter what season it is with the blue background, as opposed to one of the other colors that's permitted underneath it.
Well, they had four base colors, I think. Light black,
Green.
green,
And brown.
maybe 5, maybe brown.
Yeah, I
and
think
blue.
brown's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think they'll have to have white letters, except for the white that has black letters. And part of the concern is because the minimal size that the new standards have for the letters, some of the longer named streets are about almost 3 feet long.
That's when you start going through and renaming streets.
Just abbreviated.
So, but yeah, they are looking nicer. And just as a way of kind of updating people, you recall at the last board meeting, Doreen Bormet, the new librarian, said they were having an open house, and it was this past Saturday. I went there. It was well attended.
I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, it was well attended. It was from noon to 12, or from noon to 2, and then they had. We also had, I think, the colon cancer run in the area was taking place at about the same time, plus all the usual activities. So you got a lot of things to compete with. But they had a good turnout of crowds, and one of the librarians who works there, one of the staff members, had gotten a grant from Target. It was a $2,000 grant, but in order to start building an area for preschool kids that had, and equipping it with some of the, I can't think of it. Leapfrog is the name of the company, but they make little pens that you can run it across their digital, and they will read the text for you and so on.
Hi.
Hello. Probably all excited when you hear the door. It's like, oh, a member of the public.
Oh, you are, Mike.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Mike Margrave. My address is 362 Charles Lane.
We're on now, you know.
Yes, I know. I'm the one who puts you on the air. That's why I'm addressing my
I just
address.
wanted to know if somebody else was upstairs.
No, I'm the guy today.
Okay.
Our one volunteer in Peotone is out of the country today, so I had to come in and take care of it.
That's okay.
So anyhow, you usually have people start off with their address, so 362 Charles, and I'm not in this community, I actually live all the way out in Braidwood. I'm the president, for the people at home, I think all you know me, I'm the president of WPAL, the station that puts us on Channel 4, also out on YouTube and through our Facebook page. Since I saw you had nobody here.
Decided to come in and discuss.
Well, I sometimes feel sorry for you guys. It's you want the community to be involved and active, and I know you all seek out the opinions of the public and their concerns and all that, and that's why you have these meetings. And sometimes people come and you have really interesting guests, scouts or different sorts of presentations, and then sometimes you try to discuss stuff that I guess doesn't really belong in the village board meeting so much, but you're waiting to have enough time so somebody from the public can come up. I just thought I'd let you know that we don't have the viewership on YouTube that one might hope for, but there are people that are watching. The meeting from a couple weeks ago, we just got that up, I think about a week ago. And I was looking, we've got about half a dozen views. So there are people at home that are availing themselves the ability to follow the village board meetings and watch them on demand. And that's,
You're able to get those numbers?
yeah, as the administrator of our channel, when we
Yeah.
go in, we can see how many people view something. Now, Roy Hupke, he volunteered, and he was a camera person for recently, I should say that recently, but it was in June or July, they had the Adopt a Soldier program, had a welcome back for a few soldiers that had come back, and they had the parade through town, and then a ceremony over by the VFW. He, not being technically adept, he had to take it to somebody to make it into a DVD so we could bring it in. But once he did that, we got the video ripped and up on our YouTube channel. And it's got somewhere, I think, around 30 views.
Good.
So there is a building awareness. There's I think, close to 90 people that are following the channel on a regular basis. And also, it's hard to tell how many people actually check it and view the things on our Facebook page. But I pretty frequently go, in case any of you haven't visited, but you're online, just go to facebook.com/WPALTV, and that'll take you right to our homepage. I post not only our videos there, but for the longest time I've been posting other videos that I can get from other sources, like Will County meetings. There's, within the county, of the county board meeting once a month, and then about what seems like 100 committees for everything. But there are people that's actually not all filmed officially by the county, but there's one guy who makes it a point of going to all these meetings and recording them and uploading them to YouTube. So I link those. So if anybody wants to know what's going on, let's say in the county land use or county, well, everything. There's a million committees, and this guy spends countless hours doing that, but I link that. And some of them I put up on our channel 4. But also, there are a lot of Facebook pages for businesses and organizations in the areas we cover, the 3 villages. And so when there's things for the Adopt a Soldier program, or Scouts, or the different Blue Devils music programs, or Blue Devil sports, or things like that are in Peotone, I try to get in at least a couple of times a week. I've subscribed to as many of those pages as possible, and that stuff gets posted to our page. So anybody who follows WPALTV on Facebook can automatically get, I'm not going to say 100%, but a lot of the updates on, the Scouts holding fundraisers, or churches doing things, and I try to make that so that it's a one-stop shopping. Somebody doesn't have to go to Facebook and visit 15 different pages. I've also created a note on our page where I link to just about every business I could find within that identified itself as being from Peotone that has a Facebook page too. So if people are looking for landscapers or bakers or wedding gifts or pizzerias, anything, and you'd be interested in finding out, do they have a presence? And sometimes these businesses run specials on Facebook too. So, say you saw us on Facebook, and maybe they'll have a coupon code or something, and you can get $3 off a pizza. So again, if you want to see that, just visit facebook.com/WPALTV, and then there's a button there somewhere that says Notes, and it's a note I created it's got to have at least 40, 50, 60 businesses from Peotone in there. And I'm hoping to help people be more aware of what's available to them in their community, and help the businesses out. It's just a project I came up with, help visibility, help build community. So, and if there's anybody who sees this, either on the air later or watch this on demand, and let's say you've got a business with a Facebook page, but I missed it, or it's newer than when I created the note, I can always amend the note to incorporate more businesses in it too. Anyhow, the station's running pretty well. We've not had anywhere, there's still technical glitches. I do all of the programming, and there's a lot of steps involved. Sometimes I make mistakes. Actually, that hasn't happened recently. Technically, the biggest problem we've had in the last couple of months is we had a bunch of power outages last month. I don't know how long the duration is, because again, I'm not here in town. I put in battery backup systems that should allow everything to go through like a brownout. If we're down and out of power for 10 or 20 seconds, or maybe even a minute or two, the battery backups might be able to keep everything running. But if the power's out for an hour, things go out. I know that in the last village board meeting, there was a power outage right in the meeting.
Yeah.
So as is reflected on the YouTube video, our one volunteer here in town, Tim Thompson, he was here live. And so when it went out, the broadcast stopped and the recording stopped. As soon as the power came back on, he rebooted everything. I don't know if much of the meeting was missed, but he started recording as soon as he could get everything back running again. And then I stitched the videos together, so that's the one that's got about half a dozen views on YouTube. And it just says, they're going along, and all of a sudden a slide comes up. At this point, the power went out, and we came back as soon as we started recording again, as soon as the power came back on. So, but that fortunately wasn't a failure of equipment. I have had, in the last year, I've had 2 hard drives fail, and that's a big problem, because now we're not storing everything the way we used to, with rooms full of tapes, or drawers and drawers full of DVDs. It's by putting everything on a hard drive, it's generally I'm trying to run the station on a better budget. But with 2 hard drive failures, I'm still trying to identify the programs that we lost, because there could potentially be a village board meeting that, well, actually any village board meetings, they go right up on YouTube anyway. So even if our office blew up and we lost everything, at least YouTube would maintain those. But if there's any the originals, I always like to keep the originals if possible. They're higher quality, so I've got to identify if we lost anything. But one of my next purchases would be, I'd like to get systems where we have redundancy built in. It's called a RAID, R-A-I-D, a RAID for hard drives, where you can have like one enclosure and you put in 2 or 3 or 4 hard drives, and if one of them fails, the other ones are automatically backing it up. It costs a bunch more money, but again, we had 2 hard drives fail, and that seems like a rather high percentage. It makes me nervous, but other than that, things are going well. As always, we could use volunteers. Talked with Trustee Hupke, and it was wonderful that he went out and shot the soldiers, Adopt a Soldier program. But I've had contact sporadically from people in the community. Somebody contacted me about a year and a half ago, said, hey, we've got a baseball team here now. It's an adult baseball league. And how do we get that on the air? Opened the door and he said, here's all the contact information. If you can record it, we'd love to put it on. Followed up a couple times, never could get in touch with them. And so, but if there's people out there, I'm hoping somebody listens to this later. So I'm really addressing them, or maybe your wider circle of people you talk to. If people want to record parades or TV football or other things like that, we just need volunteers with cameras. We can take it in almost any format. If somebody's got a smartphone, you can just record with your smartphone. We can take it from there. Concerts, obviously anything with kids, but things that are open to the public, things that are interesting to the community. That's the kind of stuff that we just need people to, if you're going to the meeting or the game or the concert anyway, make a recording. We can take it on, anything as old as VHS or 8mm up through the digital formats. We can convert it, we can get it on the air, we can get it on the YouTube, and present the public with something more than just municipal meetings. I get as many of the municipal meetings on as I can, and the county meetings and so on. I know that a lot of that is, to many people out there, it's very, very dry information. But it's important, as you all know, otherwise you wouldn't be the people who have stepped up to serve the community. You know that what you're talking about are things that affect people every day, whether it's how a fence goes up or what their taxes are going to be and how important it is. And that's why, albeit dry, we put up as much of that as we can. But we want the interesting stuff too, which is where we need the volunteers to step in and do things. So. And other than saying that, I've talked with our secretary, and hopefully we'll be getting our, we submit a bill every year. So we've got to submit an invoice for the 2014-15 fiscal year. I wanted to do it somewhere around this time of the year, so hopefully that'll be in the next few weeks. And if you have any, does anybody have any questions of us? It's actually kind of nicer being, this is an informal, a less formal meeting than bringing this up. Of course, you wanted me to come make a more formal presentation at a structured presentation at a board meeting, just, invite me and tell me what you'd like me to do. Does anybody have any questions or anything since I'm here?
No, you've actually filled us in on a number of innovations and different things that you've done lately, and thank you for doing that.
Trying to help the public, that's what we do. If anybody wants to contact us, and I know this is again for the people out there, email address WPAL_TV@yahoo.com. Check it every day. Or they can dial the station line, which is 708-258-0056. Generally, there's not somebody here at the station again volunteer, but every call forwards to myself. I took 2 calls today for the station, so if you call the station number, it will get to me, and we try to respond to everybody as soon as possible.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. And I'll get upstairs so I can catch you in the meeting.
All right. All right, trustees, do we have anything else that you'd like to discuss? All right. Hearing none, we have, with that presentation by WPAL, we've been here for almost 25 minutes, so therefore, no one else from the public has come in. It would be reasonable for us to, having finished our business with no other folks here, to adjourn the meeting. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Forsythe, seconded by trustee Reichert. Adjourn the Village of Peotone Committee of the Whole meeting for September 23, 2013. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Forsythe?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?